Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. This is gameplay footage donated by Headwinder, so thanks Headwinder for supplying this. And in this game we're going to be looking at something that I have not played at all throughout this set 11, and probably won't be playing throughout this set, and that is playing a Fortune team composition. In fact, Headwinder is going to achieve the rare Fortune 7 team setup in this game. And as we're going to see, that basically completely breaks the gameplay in a way that gets really, really wild and out of control. So that's what we're going to be heading towards in this game. But of course, we have to get there first of all. Now, the only reason that you're able to play something like Fortune 7 is you usually have to have some kind of wacky portal or bizarre encounter to make it viable. And in fact, in this game, it's going to be Trainer Sentinels, which everybody apparently ran over and stood on. This is a normal game, not a ranked game. But everyone apparently ran over there and stood on this one. And in fact, you can see this one gives a Sentinel, basically a minion, who comes with 3 emblems attached. And what the emblems are is completely random. So this is essentially Wandering Trainers from the previous set, which would give you a training dummy that had 3 emblems attached on it. So this is a slightly different version. But more or less the same thing. You're going to get 3 completely random emblems and then have to adjust from there. So the 3 that Headwinder have gotten are a Duelist emblem, an Ink Shadow emblem, and then the third one is the Fortune emblem. The Fortune emblem is actually the first one. I read them in the reverse order. For some reason, I read them from right to left. I'm not exactly sure why. But yes, he was able to get a Fortune emblem here, and that's part of what's going to make it possible to play into higher tiers of Fortune. Because as it turns out, there are actually only 5 Fortune units in the game. So in order to play Fortune 7, you have to get double Fortune emblems. And he has already gotten one of the 2 here. At this point in time in the game, I don't think Headwinder was planning on playing into Fortune. I suspect that he was planning on playing around the Ink Shadow emblem, which is likely why he has picked up the Jaxes thus far. So, in fact, this early game is actually not going to look what an early Fortune setup typically looks like, because Fortune is a loss streaking trait. Basically, the only reason to play this is you need to get it in early, and then you need to lose basically every single round, because Fortune only works when that's the case. I think that Headwinder was probably planning on playing into Ink Shadow in this game, because you can see he's going to get an Ink Shadow emblem here as an option on his initial augments. So he actually has +2 Ink Shadow right now, so it's going to make it very easy to go vertical Ink Shadow. He also ended up getting a Senna from that emblem as well, or from that augment as well. So he has double emblems, and one on the Sentinel, one on the Golem that's standing up there, and then one that he just got from his augment. So he only needs to find 3 Ink Shadow units if he wants to play Ink Shadow 5. I haven't done a video featuring Ink Shadow trait either. I'm hoping to get some Senna reroll footage at some point. I've mentioned that in like 5 different videos at this point. But Ink Shadow's a vertical trait. It was underpowered all throughout the public beta environment, was also pretty weak in the release patch. This is the first official patch for set 11, and it's definitely a bit stronger here. But basically, the Ink Shadow trait gives you additional items. It's a little bit like the, what was that called? The Shimmer Scale trait that would give you additional items in the Dragon set 7. The Ink Shadow items do not generate econ, though. What it does is it gives you items that are pretty strong. So let me read the official description. Gain unique Ink Shadow items. Ink Shadow champions gain 5% bonus damage and damage reduction. And each tier of Ink Shadow gives you an additional item. So 3 Ink Shadow is 1. 5 Ink Shadow is another one. You also get more bonus damage and damage reduction. Ink Shadow 7, you get 3 Ink Shadow items. You also get 15% more bonus damage and 15% damage reduction. So you basically are getting these additional items for free. So for the moment, at least, Headwinder is going to be playing through the Ink Shadow trait. He's going to be playing through the Senna, and then he's also made an Ink Shadow Rek'Sai, which feels really bizarre, but that's going to form a Bruiser frontline along with the Kabuko that he's holding up there. And I believe he's going to try to get up to Ink Shadow 5, and I think he was just planning on playing vertical Ink Shadow at this point in time. I don't think he was planning on going super deep into the Fortune trait at this point in time. So there is an Ink Shadow item that's popped up there. Let me see if I can find what the Ink Shadow item is. I'm going to try to look that up on the reference stuff that I have here and see if that's going to explain what that item actually is, because this is not a standard item and I definitely don't know what it is. Okay, I was able to pull the Ink Shadow item list. This one is Tattoo of Protection. It is like a blue square with like a symbol in the middle. Gain a 50% max health shield after casting the first time each combat. When it breaks, grant 50% of this shield amount to the 2 nearest allies. So it's a percentage of max health shield that appears after the first time you cast. So pretty standard for a frontline tank unit, which is why it is on the Rek'Sai right now. So far, Headwinder has actually won each round. Again, if you're playing Fortune, this is not typically how you would play Fortune. You want to lose pretty much all the rounds if you're going to be playing Fortune. It is a loss streaking trait. It does not work if you are winning rounds. But he's actually pretty strong right now, so he can't really do this big loss streaking setup. Even though he has not committed items, he's still not really in a position to just loss streak all throughout the early game. So he's going to be winning these rounds. I can see that he's picking up some Fortune units with the intention of probably playing them later on. But for the moment, he does not have Fortune in, so I don't want to talk too much about Fortune until the trait is actually in. By the way, Rek'Sai, apparently Rek'Sai gets that shield off when almost the entire rest of the team is dead. But look how tanky Rek'Sai is with that item on. Got some damage reduction from Ink Shadow trait, got the big shield, and it looks like that's actually going to be enough to win this round. Even though it didn't really feel like this was going to be a win, and maybe Headwinder would have liked to have lost if he had Fortune Trade in, but he doesn't have Fortune Trade in yet, so he might as well win these rounds. There's no reason not to. In any case, though, this is still set 11. That means we're having these random encounters that take place throughout the game. I've said many times I am not a big fan of the encounters. I think that they're pretty silly. Don't really like the idea that you're just going to have all kinds of random wacky RNG popping up throughout the game, but it is what it is. So this is an item carousel where every champion has an additional component on them. Let's see what Headwinder's going to get there. I did not watch the beginning of this. I actually caught the tail end of this game live while Headwinder was playing it because he put a little note in the Sula Discord saying, hey, I've actually got a game going right now where I have Fortune 7 in, and I was able to catch the tail end of that. All right, well, he was able to get the pieces for a potential Infinity Edge if he wants that, and he's actually going to level and go ahead and get Ink Shadow 5 in. Ink Shadow 5, so he dropped Bruiser trait and picked up additional tier. And he has Tattoo of Toxin, which is being highlighted here. Again, this is recorded footage. We don't have true replays for Teamfight Tactics, so I can't like pause and hover things on here, but I will go ahead and read the description of what this does. Tattoo of Toxin, damage applies a toxin that deals an additional 44% of that damage over 3 seconds and 33% wounds the target. So deals additional damage over time, basically, and adds wound to the target, which means that it's a healing debuff. So an additional 44% of damage takes place over the next 3 seconds. And so Headwinder's gone ahead and put that on Senna because Senna's going to be the main damage dealer for the time being. He is still winning on this board. He's actually up against someone who's level 6 who has the Sage augment that generates additional XP when you're playing Sage trait. Yeah, he's actually going to beat that person with his board that's level 5. So that's always a nice sign when you can see someone else is like power level to level 6 early. Usually people don't go to level 6 until after stage 3 begins. But he was actually able to beat the level 6 board here on just stage 2-5, so that's nice. And another random encounter, this one just gives everybody econ. A whole bunch of the encounters are like this. They just result in getting extra stuff for free. And then, oh, this is a biggie. He hits the early Annie. Annie is a 4-cost unit. He hit the Annie at 2% odds. So now he can play Fortune 5 if he wants. The only Fortune units he's missing now are, he's just missing the Zoe right now. Zoe and Triss, never mind. He also needs Tristana. So he's getting 1 Fortune from the emblem. And then he has Annie on his bench, Teemo on his bench, Kabuko on his bench. He's actually going to go ahead and move that tanky item over to the Annie and go ahead and put the tattoo, the Tattoo of Toxin it was called, back on the Senna again. So it appears that you can pop these items off by menching units, which is, again, the same thing you could do with Shimmer Scale back in set 7. So they've carried that functionality over. Anyway, this is a Yone round, and Yone's really been dominating the metagame in this particular patch to a very annoying extent. Fortunately, it's a Yone 1-star who doesn't really have items. This person looks like they're trying to get more perfect items on the Yone, But the Yone is going to die, and once that happens, his board doesn't really have much damage left. So the Senna is just barely going to survive. Multiple rounds where the Senna has just barely survived, and Headwinder actually win streaks all the way through stage 2, which again is not the way you would typically play Fortune. You would typically be loss streaking, but he did not actually put Fortune trait in play. And oh, look at that. Now he's got the Zoe. So he has 4 of the 5 units that are Fortune units. And he actually is going to put Fortune in play right now and go up to 5 Fortune. The only Fortune unit that he still needs to find now is, who is he missing? He's missing Tristana. Still, this does only get him to Fortune 5. Again, in order to play Fortune 7, you need 2 emblems. He has 1 emblem. You need 2 of them to play this. But he does now have Fortune trait in, so we're on a minion round. I will go ahead and read the formal description of what this trait does, the Fortune trait. Okay, when you lose a fight, gain luck. The more fights in a row you lose, the more luck you get. So it works off of a stat called luck. You can see that there's like a little money tree on the side of the screen there. And Headwinder is helpfully highlighting this, although he's not going to keep it around for very long. But like you get this little money tree on the side, and it stores up how much luck you have. You only can get luck from losing rounds, though. So this is not like playing, Heartsteel in the previous set, where you would get Heartsteel stacks from losing rounds, yes, but you also could get them from defeating enemy champions. No, the only way you can get luck is by losing rounds. And it works on a geometric scale. The more rounds you lose in a row, the more luck you generate. So like the first round you lose, you only get like 1 luck from losing the first round. But then I think you get it's like 3 luck the next round, and then 6 luck the round after that, and then 10 luck. So it keeps going up and up and up the more rounds that you end up losing. But you don't gain luck from winning rounds. And in fact, luck that you have accumulated, actually you lose it when you win rounds. There is a penalty for winning rounds. So the way that you typically play Fortune is you want to get it in early, and then you just want to lose as many rounds as a row until you actually can cash out the Fortune trait. And that is typically the way that Fortune is played. I'll have more to say about that in a minute, though, because we're about to get an augment, and this augment is going to completely dominate the rest of the game for Headwinder. All right, come on, any second now, because as it turns out, his second augment is going to give him a Fortune Crest and a Tristana. Now remember, you can't play Fortune 7 unless you have 2 Fortune emblems. But guess what? Now he does have 2 Fortune emblems. So now he has every piece that he needs. He has the Tristana, which was the only unit he was missing. And he's trying to put the Fortune emblem on someone, but he can't do it because every unit on the board already has a Fortune emblem on. But he can level to level 6 and put the Senna back in. And so now he has the Fortune 7. He actually has Fortune 7 with only 6 units in, so this is incredibly rare. The only way that you can make this happen is to get something like the Wandering Sentinel's portal to start the game, and then pull a Fortune emblem from an augment. Fortune is not a craftable emblem. You can't make it with like a spatula plus vest or something. No, you can only get it from an augment, or I guess a Tome of Traits, although Tome of Traits are very rare in this set as well. So this is an exceedingly rare combination. It also required him to hit the ante at 2% odds as well, because it requires you getting, well, let's go through the 5 Fortune units right now. As I said, there's only 5 Fortune units in the game, which is why you need double emblems to play Fortune 7. You have Kabuko, who is a 1-star, or a 1-cost unit. You have Teemo, who is a 2-cost unit. Then you have double 3-cost units, Tristana and Zoe. And then last Annie is a 4-cost unit. So a lot of things had to come together for Headwinder to make this round work. To make this whole setup work, he had to have the Wandering Trainer, or Wandering Sentinel, I guess it's called now. By the way, this looks like it's going to be an absolutely perfect loss for him. Loses the round, but only 1 unit alive on the other team. That is an absolutely perfect Fortune loss. And notice he got 26 luck from that. What? Remember how I said you typically get like 1 luck from the first loss, and then it goes up to like 3 luck and then 6 luck? He got 26 luck from the first loss. What the heck is going on here? Well, the answer is you gain a lot more luck if you have Fortune 7 in, because this is like a crazy chase streak that you're not supposed to have happen. So that's why his luck went up so quickly. All right, there's another additional thing that's different about Fortune 7. Typically what's supposed to happen is after your first round with Fortune in, you're supposed to roll a die, a 1d6, 1 through 6, and then after that many player combats, you hold a festival, and at that festival, you have the option to convert your luck into rewards. This is the way that things typically works, is after you initially get Fortune in, you have to roll that die, and then you figure out how many rounds are going to pop up until you have a chance to cash out. And that's how many rounds it is before you have a chance to cash out. Or you can, of course, keep the fortune streak going with the understanding that if you do lose a round, or if you do win a round, you're going to start costing yourself some of that banked up luck. So basically, you lose a whole bunch of rounds and you see how far you can push it before you cash out. That's the way Fortune typically works. Fortune 7 is different though. With Fortune 7, you get rewards every single round and the festival pops up on every round. So you don't need to worry about like being at 30 health and then rolling a 5 on the dice. And then you have to wait 5 more rounds before you can cash out again. No, with Fortune 7, you get the option to cash out every single round. And you also get bonus luck every single round as well. So right now, Headwinder is going to be offered the chance to cash out on every single round. But what he wants to do is lose these rounds, have them be relatively close losses, and stack up his luck as quickly as possible while he still has enough health to spare. The good news for him is by win streaking all throughout Stage 2, he actually saved 100 health. Like, he didn't lose any health throughout all of Stage 2. So you can see he has the option to cash out, but he's going to continue taking the push your luck option so that he can continue generating more luck each round. He is also getting bonus, he's also getting a bonus reward every single round as well. That does not happen normally when playing Fortune. That only happens when you're playing 7 Fortune. So he's getting a reward every single round. He's getting bonus luck every round. It looks like he's getting about 25 luck for free every single round anyway, because he started at, he was at 0 and then he went to 26. So yeah, I think he got 25 bonus luck from Fortune 7 and then the one that I said he would get anyway. And then now it looks like he's gained, he was at 26, now he's at 55. Now it looks like he gained another something. Oh, and then apparently someone quit the lobby, to try and deny him his Fortune loss streak. But again, it didn't end up hurting him that badly because he gets bonus luck anyway if I'm having Fortune 7. Yeah, it looks like that person literally quit the lobby to try and deny his Fortune loss streak. But because he has Fortune 7 and Headwinder's I think he's getting 25 luck for free every round anyway. And yeah, 07, I don't know what 07 means, but Fortune 7 does not seem to have suffered much of a loss from that. So Headwinder did not gain as much luck as he would have from a loss there, but he still ended up getting more luck anyway. Whereas if he did not have Fortune 7 in, he would have been penalized. All right, now here's another encounter. You can choose whether you're going to win or lose, and you get extra gold. This is one of the ones that's also pretty problematic in terms of the encounters, but Headwinder wants to lose this round anyway, so he's just going to take the I'll lose option. Note that he also has a bench completely full of items. Headwinder's deliberately not using these items right now because he wants to lose these rounds for fortune purposes. The other thing that's noteworthy is once you hit Fortune 5, you do start gaining health back every round. And in fact, that's the only difference between Fortune 3 and Fortune 5. Fortune 5 does not give you any additional luck from losing rounds, and it does not give you better loot payouts for having Fortune 5 in. The only thing that Fortune 5 does is you heal back 3 health every round, and that is your tactician, not like the characters on the board. That's like your actual character. You heal back an additional 3 health at the end of each round. Fortune 7 is where all the crazy stuff starts happening. You get the bonus luck every round, and you also get a loot payout every single round, in addition to having the option to cash out every round. But again, Fortune 7 is really wonky, so this is maybe not like the best video to be showing this because Fortune 7 is so unlike what Fortune is usually like. But it does make for a lot of fun, and you can see that the luck stacks are getting very, very high very, very quickly. Headwinder's already up to 122 stacks, and that's in only 4 rounds of doing this. The rewards max out at, I believe it's 200 stack. I think it's either 200 or 250. I'm going to look up the Fortune loot table once again right now. So yeah, the stacks do not go as high as they did in the previous set with Heartsteel, which people might be confused. Heartsteel, you could pretty easily get up into the hundreds. Yeah, the top reward is at 250 luck. That is the highest reward that you get, and that is perceived as having about a 200 gold value. And yes, that's not a misprint. That is a 200 gold value for 250 luck. Right now, Headwinder is at 122, and if he can get so the cash out value right now is around 100 gold, and he can take this a little bit higher. The next one's at 130 luck. And then the next one after that at 175. Note that this is not listed anywhere in game. I'm just using an out of game reference table for this. So he continues to get more stuff popping up every single round. He's also healing for 3 HP every single round. But again, Headwinder's goal is to try to lose these rounds, have the losses be close. That's why he's not committing a lot of these items. As he continues to play into this Fortune plus Ink Shadow board. Typically, you would not play Fortune together with Ink Shadow. There's not really much synergy between these two traits. Yeah, they don't really have much overlap. It's just that Headwinder got double Ink Shadow emblems from the Wandering Sentinel plus his first augment. So since he has 2 free ranks of Ink Shadow, he might as well play into the trait. But otherwise, you probably wouldn't play these together. As I said, there's not that much synergy between them. So again, this looks like a good round. It looks like he was able to kill a good portion of the board. Again, he wants to lose some of these rounds. Now he's up to 160 luck. So yeah, he went from 122 to 160. So what was that? 38 luck from losing that round. And current cash out rewards, 125 gold. The next one is at 175 luck. So let's see if Headwinder wants to go one more round, if he wants to keep pushing this. He is, again, getting 3 health back, but of course he's losing more than 3 health each round. So, by the way, it is time for another augment. I mean, it feels like this game is just like so completely bizarre at this point in time. Looks like he's going to take Stand United, and he's going to push his luck at least one more round, it looks like. Yep, there we go. But of course, he still gets another big payout. Look, he's over 100 gold right now, so not even sure what to do with all that gold, I'm guessing, but he does go up to level 8, and it looks like he's going to commit at least a few of these items right now. He's getting some artifact items, Orin items, and trying to figure out what to do with all of these things. And it looks like Teemo's going to get the Tattoo of Toxin, and then Voli's going to get some tank items. I think Headwinder's trying to make it so his losses are a little closer, because he did end up, that last round was not especially close in terms of the loss. But yeah, 7 Fortune, 5 Ink Shadow at the moment right here. And he is still sitting at 160 luck, which again is an extremely high total. I want to make it clear. Typically, you are not getting anywhere near this much luck when you're losing these rounds. Like, you usually are only getting like single-digit luck, maybe just barely double-digit luck. But he's been getting like 20 to 30 luck with every single loss. And again, that's only because he has Fortune 7 in. Again, looks like this is going to be a pretty good round. He's been able to kill most of the board. Now, if he can end up losing the round from this point, it's an absolutely perfect result. The Cog and the Caitlyn are still alive. Yeah, this is, again, just an absolutely perfect loss. He lost, what, about 8 health, roughly? And he'll heal back 3 of that. And now he's at 201 luck. Again, the highest tier cash out is 250. So he's at the second highest cash out right now. But he could, I believe that this is the one that he actually ends up taking. So, or is he going to push it? Nope, he's going to push his luck that much further. Going to go ahead and push another round here. Actually gets 2 out of 3 Kaisas, which is good because he's playing Ink Shadow here. So having Kaisa would be good as well. But yeah, the estimated reward right now is 160 gold worth of value. So that's pretty insane. And of course, there's still a whole bunch of items on the bench that Headwinder has not been using yet. So again, he's just been stacking up that luck, stacking up that luck, stacking up that luck. He's at that second highest result that you can possibly get right now. The 200, what is it? He's at the 175 luck cash out threshold. As I said, 250 is the highest. Anything beyond 250 does not do anything in terms of luck, but it's extremely difficult to get to that point. The problem is he's already gotten so many rewards that he's at the point where it's going to be hard to lose rounds. So he probably does want to cash out because he's already at the point where it's hard to lose these rounds due to all the rewards that he's been getting up to this point in time. And it looks like he's actually going to win this round, which is, I believe, going to cost him. No, it actually took him to 245 luck. Oh, he's actually only 5 luck off the maximum cash out value, which again is not displayed in game. I bet that Headwinder probably would have kept this going if he had known he was 1 round off getting the maximum possible cash out, which, by the way, one of the rewards for the maximum possible cash out is a 3-star 5 cost. Yeah, that's not an exaggeration. 3-star 5 cost is one of the rewards for the maximum possible cash out. So I think he probably could have done that, but instead I believe he does take the cash out here. And by the way, there is a spatula option available here, although I don't know if any of these really do that much for him. Maybe he could have made a Heavenly Emblem. Heavenly Emblem probably would have been decent, but yeah, I don't think anything that he could have made really helped out his board that much. I guess he could have made Duelist Emblem. He is playing Duelist, so maybe he could have taken that and made 4 Duelist on somewhere. But anyway, up to this point, it's all kind of been set up. Now it's time to start watching the craziness that is Fortune 7, because at this point, I believe Headwinder takes the cash out from this value. from if I remember from what I saw previously. So yeah, he's going to take the cash out. So now his luck goes down to 0. But wait, what's going on? What the heck? Look at his XP bar. Okay, so the value, you might see, wait a minute, how is he level 10? Well, one of the payouts for getting the 175 Lux reward is max level plus rerolls. So it instantly set him to level 10. He had just barely hit level 8 and it just set him to level 10. That was about 108, like 160 gold worth of experience. Plus it just gave him a whole bunch of rerolls for free. Now, Headwinder has not actually used those rerolls, but I believe he gets like 10 free rerolls as well. So the cash out value from that was indeed probably about 180 gold worth, something like that. So he just instantly is now level 10, and he also has tons and tons of money to play around with. And he's going to continue to get more cash out rewards every single round. So he's going to have to think about what he wants to do with all this income because he has over 70 gold right now and he's level 10, where you have 40% odds for the 4 cost and 25% odds for the 5 cost. So you pretty much see nothing but 4 and 5 cost units. Or mostly 4 and 5 cost units when you're here at level 10. So it's really just what does he want to play. Plus he can continue cashing out each round. Right now he's on 26 luck, so the 26 is going to go back to 0, but 26 luck actually gives you a pretty good cash out. Here are the rewards for having 20 luck. It is an estimated 22 gold value, 40% odds for 10 gold and 3 4-cost units, 40% odds for an artifact item, 20% odds for a spatula and 12 gold. He's going to get that every single round right now. Even if he's winning, he's going to get that every single round. So either 30 gold worth of value or an artifact item or a spatula and 12 gold. I'd say that's a pretty nice reward. I'd say that's pretty good. So Headwinder was able to get into 7 Ink Shadow, but if you've noticed, he wasn't even able to spend all of his gold. He, in fact, hasn't even finished spending his free rerolls yet because he just has gotten so many rewards. He literally can't spend his gold fast enough. He just needs more time to try to roll through his board. He's actually going to use the Team Builder to help out here a little bit. He snapshotted his board and put all of them in the Team Builder. I generally don't use the Team Builder, but I know a lot of people like that feature. So he's going to try to just 3-star as many of these units as possible. All of his Fortune units and all of his Ink Shadow units. Those are the ones he's going for. Ink Shadow units and Fortune units. Again, kind of an unusual board to play this, but why not? All right, so once again, 26 luck. He's going to cash out. And what does he get from this? Artifact item. So he got an artifact item, and I think he got like 3 gold or something like this. So now he just gets another one of these units, another one of these things to play around with. So he's trying to figure out what to take. He's going to take Death Defiance, and I believe he's going to put it on the Udyr, I think. He needs to get Udyr on the board because Udyr is the 5-cost Ink Shadow unit. Udyr is a unit that gets really strong if you can fully itemize him. Particularly in a 7 Ink Shadow board like this where he's getting the damage reduction and the bonus damage. But he is going to be an absolute terror on this board once he gets fully itemized and once he gets 2-starred. So, all right, time to take out the Jacks. Don't need the Jacks. Move the Fortune Emblem to somebody. Somebody's got to take that. And it looks like it's going to go over to the Aatrox. Yeah, Aatrox is just there as a trait bot. All right, so Death's Defiance on the Udyr. And then now it's just a matter of rolling for more of these units. I'll try to see what that tattoo is. It's a tattoo of force. I'll try to look up what that actually does. All right, trying to grab more of these units. Again, all the units that are Ink Shadow and Fortune are just going to be grabbed here. Going to pick up the randoms there. And still trying to get these items in place. It's just very difficult because there's so much loot dropping every single round that it's very hard to get them all in place. So going to go ahead and make a Giant Slayer there. What is it? It's Death Defiance, Giant Slayer, and Tattoo of Force over there. Did make the Annie 2-star. I believe he made the Kaisa 2-star as well. And running out of bench space is like an actual concern right now because there's just not room to store all these units. Again, Headwinder's on 112 gold. He still has not even burned through his free rerolls that he got yet. So he's just desperately trying to make his board, but there's just not enough time because he's getting so much stuff for free on every single round. He's going to get like another 30 gold worth of value here too as well. All right, so there's 2-star Udyr. That's pretty nice. There's no point in pushing his luck. He's winning every round, so he can't really cash out. All right, another Thief's Glove. Just going to keep rolling here. All right, more Annies. That looks good. More Udyrs. Going to have to clear out some bench space for that. There's 3 Wukongs. Doesn't even want that. All right, more Kaisas. So there is 6 Kaisas. There's Volley 2. There's 7 Kaisas. More Volleys. There's another Udyr. Going to continue clearing out bench space for that. All right, that's 6 Udyrs already. Yeah, and the thing is, there's just not that many 5 costs in the game. There's only 8 5-cost units in the game, and there's only 9 of each of them, so there's only 72 of those units. So by rolling so much on level 10 and having just like this crazy amount of gold, he's actually getting close to just grabbing all of the Udyrs out of the pool. He's already taken 6 of the 9 out of the pool. And if no one else is playing Udyr, which I don't believe they are in this lobby, he has a realistic shot to hit the 3-star Udyr. And like now his board is just scaled up so much with so many free items, plus almost all of his units are now 2-starred on the board, that there's almost nothing that the rest of the team can do. He has like so many artifact items everywhere and emblems out the wazoo, and like 2-star Udyr, 2-star Kaisa. But if you think it's bad now, oh, it's only going to get that much worse, because he's getting another 30 gold worth of income every single round to play around with. Once again, cash out, another 26 gold cash out. Well, yep, that's another 30 gold to roll with. Back up over 100 gold again. So, all right, just going to keep rolling here. There's another Udyr. And going to keep rolling here. Again, the biggest issue is just lack of bench space. There's not enough room. It's actually going to prioritize the Zoe, because there's just not enough room for these units. So yeah, he's actually on 8 Kaisas, and can he hit the less? And another Udyr. He's on 8 Kaisas, 8 Udyrs right now. Unfortunately, he's having to sell some of the other units to make space for them. He's actually really close on the Trist as well, but had to sell to make space. So yeah, 8 Kaisas. Kaisa's a 4 cost, 8 Udyrs. Udyr's a 5 cost. And again, he's just continuing to roll because he doesn't have bench space here, trying to see if he can hit one more. He's having to roll past some Annies that I think he would like to pick up because he just doesn't have the space to hold these. All right, yeah, again, just not enough room to hold these. So he's on 8 Triss, 8 Kaisas, 8 Udyrs at the moment. I mean, one of these units is going to pop up sooner or later. By the way, have I mentioned he's still healing for 3 health every single round because he has Fortune 5 in? Yeah, he's back up to 83 health. He's getting close to 100 HP again. And there we go. There is the 3-star Kaisa popping up. Kaisa is the most popular 4 cost in this patch. Kaisa 2-star is quite strong, so getting Kaisa 3-star is pretty much an auto win the lobby condition. But there's still 8 Udyrs and 8 Tristanos on the board, so we are not done yet by any means. Let's see, what is he going to take here? Takes the Static Shiv, which is kind of interesting. I guess just because there is no magic debuff on this team at present, and does end up getting another Teemo there. All right, so there's the Kaisa 3. Once again, cash out, another 30 gold worth of value. And there it is. There is the 3-star Udyr. So there's your 3-star 5 cost right now. So this round got another artifact emblem. So okay, we'll just give somebody a sniper's focus, I guess. And then the artifact pops out. So something else to play around with. I think the Zeke's is a good choice because there's just not enough time to try to position for stuff like Shrouds or Zephyrs at the end. Like, what is the point of that anyway? All right, so how about 3-star Udyr? What the heck does 3-star Udyr do? This is a 5 cost unit here, so it's pretty much an instant win. All right, Udyr, let's see. So starts out with Ram Slam, gain shield for 3 seconds and charge to the current target, briefly knock up any enemies hit, grab the nearest enemy and slam them into the ground, dealing total magic damage to them and adjacent enemies. All right, normally the shield is 300%. It goes to 3,000% at 3-star. Slam damage, normally 300%, goes to 5,500% at 3 stars. So yeah, Udyr does, his shield value goes up 10-fold and his damage goes up about 20-fold on 3-star. So that's a thing that's happening. You might have noticed Udyr just basically slammed the board and everything died instantly. I don't even know how much health he has right now. It's some ungodly amount of HP over there. Anyway, another 30 gold worth of value to roll around with. So picking up some Annies. That's 6 Annies. There's 7. There's 8. Can we see 9 for 3-star Annie? I mean, might as well at this point, right? Might as well. So now it's time to start picking up the Zoes as well. Rolling down, and oh, there's finally 3-star Trist. Almost feels disappointing to hit 3-star Trist at this point. It's like only a 3-cost unit, not something better. There's Zoe, 6 Zoes, and there it is. There's the Annie. All right, so now that's a 3-star 5-cost and double 3-star 4-costs on this board. 3-star Udyr, 3-star Annie, 3-star Kaisa. If anyone else had any shot whatsoever at some point in time, they definitely don't at this point, because if by some reason Udyr's not killing you, the Kaisa and the Annie are. So yeah, Udyr just... yeah, he did 6,000 damage in like 1 second. And I believe he has like 15,000 HP. Plus the Tibbers is like another 8 or 9,000 HP. And there's Kaisa 3-star. I mean, this is just as disgusting as you can possibly get. Fortune 7 has gotten completely and utterly out of control in this lobby. There's just no stopping it at this point. Once someone actually survives long enough to get Fortune 7 in, it's pretty much an auto win. You do have to survive long enough to for your board to like start gaining in value. But if you're able to survive a couple rounds, the rewards that it gives you are so insane that it's just impossible to lose the game at that point. You can see every single round, Headwinder is getting another 30 to 35 gold worth of value. Plus, he's level 10, so he can roll with like insane shop odds to get all the best units. Plus, he's healing for additional health every round. Plus, he's getting artifact items every round. Like, it's just, there's no way anyone can possibly compete with this. So now he's just rolling for the Zoe and the Volibear. He's on 8 Volibears, and I believe he's on 7 Zoes. He obviously would have had these units earlier, except that he ran out of bench space to hold them. He just didn't have enough room for these units. Oh, never mind. He's on 8 Volies and 8 Zoes over there. So, I mean, it's just kind of silly at this point in time. Like, there's really no way for his board to get stronger. He could easily go to level 11 if there was a level 11, but there's no such thing in this game. And none of these boards can even remotely compete with this. I mean, all you have to do is just watch the Udyr. Udyr just casts his ability and everything on the enemy board just like dies in 1 second. Or Kaisa. If Kaisa even gets her ability off, everything is dead in 1 instant. So yeah, I mean, like, what even was that? And it turns out that he wins both the active round and the ghost round as well. So that's going to wrap this one up. So yeah, Fortune 7, as I said, maybe not the best example of a normal Fortune game because normal Fortune games don't really look like this. Headwinder basically never played Fortune 3 or Fortune 5. He pretty much went instantly to Fortune 7. He was getting the enormous luck payouts every single round. And he never even got particularly low on health. I think he went down to like 60 health and then regenerated back up to like 90 health again. But wow, it certainly was insane at the end. 3-star Udyr, 3-star Triss, 3-star Annie, 3-star Kaisa. It got out of hand in a hurry. Well, anyway, thanks for donating this footage, Headwinder. I don't think I'm ever going to play a game like this in this set, but I'm glad you were able to showcase it for us. Until next time, hope everybody is having a great week. Take care, folks, and I'll see you again soon.